so much, Ponsa, and the team at CX Touchpoints, and everyone who is involved in the planning of the Africa CX Leaders Forum. We're really excited to be part of this as ICX, and we're looking forward to the great things that will be happening in Rwanda next week. And so just a brief on who ICX is. We are the professional body for customer experience here in Kenya. And we have supported, we've been here for 15 years. And we have different members, both corporate and individual members. And we support them through helping them to develop themselves, bringing them together to network in events and in various activities. So one of the things that we did about last year was to do we did a survey on employee experience for customer experience. And it was so eye-opening for us to see how employee experience has such an impact on customer experience. And we worked with two wonderful consultants as well as associates who we work with for many projects. And today they'll be taking us through the workshop for the day. And so without further ado, I'll just introduce them and they can come on and take over. We'll start off with Caroline Gadhuru. She is the Director of Strategy and Business Development at Life Skills Consulting, but she is also advisory at ICX Kenya. She has over 25 years of experience in strategy, brand management, customer experience, operational excellence. And she also does a lot of trainings and consulting. Previously, she served as a CEO of Springboard Capital, but she is really passionate about working with children to be able to develop them and to develop their communication, and also to empower organizations to do better in terms of customer experience. So that will be our first workshop leader. Our second workshop leader is Akshay Shah. Akshay is currently the CTO, Chief Technology Officer at Ajua, and he's recently joined Ajua. Before he was director at Custom Metrics, which has now merged with Ajua. And he has over more than 20 years of experience, a lot of experience in leadership, as well as just being able to do some of this consulting work. He's worked with PwC, Ernst & Young, and so many other great companies. He's done computer and management sciences. And so he's really passionate about customer experience and being able to bring the data just to back up the facts that we have. And so I am honored to be the one introducing them, and I look forward to a wonderful session. Over to you, Akshay and Carol. Take it away.
What a fantastic introduction. You say that you are honored to be the one introducing us. We are honored to be in such a great gathering of people on this continent who want to move and shake things in the space of customer experience and employee experience excellence. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon. Good afternoon, wherever you are. Please, let's check the temperature in this room on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is very hot, sizzling hot, sparkling hot, lightning hot, and 0 is cold, freezing. Where are you? Are you on the hot side? Are you on the cold side? Let me see in the chat. Let us see in the chat what temperature is in this room. Are we in the right room? Are things fiery? Are they moto fire, as we say in 11? Oh, I love it. Jail at 9. Lynette at 11 out of 10. Moto coming through. Let's see. 10 out of 10 for patience. Oh, yes. We are in the right. 15 out of 10 for Esther. Woo! Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is the right place, the right time, the right people, the right conversation, the right temperature, the exact right temperature. These things are good. Things are very good this afternoon. Thomas, you say blazing sun in Kenya. Ooh-wee! All right. And with that, with Thomas's comment, we just have to kick this magical show on the road. Let me share my screen. And as with every other online experience, we shall ask, can you see my screen? Whoever will bottle up this saying and have us just press a button that says, can you see my screen, is going to make a lot of money. So can you see my screen, good people? Give us a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Talk to us. Can you see the screen? I can see, oh yes, thumbs up coming right up. Actually, I need to ask you particularly, you said fire, fire, motor fire. What is your expectation today? What level are you sailing or piloting or cruising this plane at? Over to you, Akshay.
Oh, my expectation is that we're going to have fun, but we're going to
A
have
lot of
fun,
right.
while learning. We're going to learn some stuff. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to expand our minds. We're going to stretch ourselves. We're going to do things that might make us uncomfortable, but we're going to have fun.
All right. I like the fun part. I'm up for fun. I am up for fun. I know this is very precious time. We are spending 2 hours together this afternoon. It's going to be a very value-adding 2 hours. At the end of these 2 hours, when we come back and do a pulse check, each and every one of you, I promise, is going to say from whichever part of the continent you are dialing in that it was a worthwhile 2 hours. Time is the most precious resource that we all have. We must use it effectively. So let's get started. Let's get moving. Let's get kicking. So what do we want to do this afternoon? This afternoon, we want to remove the hats that we are wearing. The hats we are wearing as customer experience leaders, the hats we are wearing as operational leaders, the hats we are wearing in our different institutions, the hats we are wearing. And we want to put on the hat of the head of retail experience at Caremore Supermarkets. So you today have a new title. You today have a new role. You today have a new responsibility. You over there, yes, you, and you. We are talking to each and every one of you here this afternoon. You are the head of retail at Caremore Supermarket. So please picture the supermarket of your dreams. Picture the supermarket that you would love to go to, the one that gives you the experiences that you have wherever you are. You are that person, and we are at Caremore Supermarket. So please throw off the hats that you wear daily, and let's journey through this. You are the head of retail experience, not just head of retail experience. And this afternoon, we want to see where this journey is going to take us. Remember, this is our agenda: employee experience and customer experience management and measurement. So we are measuring and we are managing through measurement. That's what we are doing this afternoon. So here we are. Yours truly, I have donned on the hat of the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. I'm allowed to dream. Lupita Nyong'o said, all dreams are valid. And so my dream this afternoon is that I'm the CEO. I am wielding the CEO's hat at Caremore Supermarket. So please look at me nicely. Look at me with a lot of eyes that you would give the CEO. I am the CEO this afternoon. And with me is our Chief Commercial Officer, Head of Commercial. So I introduce to you Akshay Shah, Chief Commercial Officer. Are you feeling very commercial this afternoon, Akshay? Are you accepting this huge title?
That is clearly a very old photo. We need to talk to HR about these things.
No, we are accepting the spring, eternal spring of youth. These photos, yeah, they're very flattering. But yes, we have our Chief Commercial Officer in the house. So you are head of retail. I'm the CEO, and Akshay is the head of commercial, Chief Commercial Officer. We sit in the C-suite, and head of retail is a very highly placed role. Very often, Roles that are experience related are not highly placed, but we want to change that. We want to change this narrative in this continent. We want each and every one of us to be chief experience officers, head of retail experience, have experience management at the toppest level. So in the supermarket, head of retail experience is a job that's high on the organogram. Our responsibilities are heavy. We need to deliver on experience. All right, let's kick into it. What we are going to do today is just think, as head of retail experience, how will our interconnected voices elevate the business in this retail line? How are insightful metrics, the measurement, the being able to analyze, being able to collect, being able to report, uncover the truths that we need to hold, the truths that we need to attack, the truths that we need to look at with eyes that tell us that this is really what's on the ground. In Kenya, we say qua ground. I don't know what you say in your different countries, but the reality on the ground, why this is important, and why from there, action is what we need to do, because there's no need to pick data, there's no need to measure, there's no need to collect, there's no need to do all of that if there's no action coming out of it. In fact, we say that you'd rather not collect at all than collect and do nothing about it. It fatigues those who you're collecting from. It fatigues the collector as well. So this is where we are gunning, we are sailing, we are cruising, we are soaring at Caremore Supermarkets. So as you come in as the head of retail, with your people, with your team, and because this assignment is very multifaceted, you hover over all the other units because of the experience that we want our customers to get. Our ethos here is that everyone, not just one person, not the head of department, not the customer service, not the tellers, not the desk, not the info desk, not production, not supply chain, every one of us commits to excellent customer and employee experience. So this is how we do things here at Caremore. As you join us as head of retail experience, please know that this is our commitment to ourselves internally and externally. This is what we have on all our quality policy documents on the wall, all our charters, all our mission mandate. This is what we have displayed to our customers in all the branches. This is what we are saying we do, and this is what we stand for. And so as you come in, please put on the hat that talks about commitment. Commitment. We are not commitment averse. We don't run away from commitment. We don't have commitment phobia, as some people do in relationships. We are fully committed, and this is what we are committed to. So welcome aboard this ship, and let's run with it. As we start our conversation, what is it that we have seen over time? What is it that we have noted as the leaders of this supermarket over time? What is it that guides us and drives us? We see that without a doubt that it is not a price war. We are not in a price war. We are in a war for value. We are in a war for quality. We are in a war. We're in the battlefield for great experiences. And so research shows us that 86% of customers will pay more for better experiences. They will pay more. They will remove from their pockets more. And so therefore, this is what we are running with, because data is important to us and we like to see what's happening for real. And so buyers will pay more for a better experience. They are willing to dig deeper for a better experience. So how do we deliver these experiences for our customers? How do we cause our customers to feel that Caremore is really where they want to go over and over and over again? As we do that, I can see right in the chat that Hamdi Amawi needs flowers. We need to give flowers to Hamdi because you have spoken even before we have spoken. In the chat, you are saying most of the times employee experience is missing. And that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. In fact, research shows us more and more and more that we cannot separate employee experience from customer experience. Employee experience and customer experience are married. They are a firm foundation. They go together. They deliver optimal experience. And so these two things are becoming inseparable. So as we measure customer experience, as we gun towards customer experience, as we run to customer experience, we cannot leave employee experience behind. And we will be talking about this afternoon. How do we measure this? How do we monitor this? How do we evaluate this? How do we analyze this? How do we report this? So that employee experience and customer experience are a great merger. This is not an acquisition story. This is not a joint venture story. This is a merger. We are talking about a merger here, where all players have equal stakes and all players are running on the same footing. So this is what research is showing us, that 66% of employee experience translates into higher customer satisfaction. And this must be even more right now. This research is a little bit older, and this is the best we could get. And so we need to improve employee experience so that customer experience comes home and comes to life. So let's do this. Let's jump into this. Let us get things going. Akshay, what do you think about employee experience versus customer experience? What are your thoughts?
So actually, I want to throw this question to our new hires. I mean, they're here to prove a point, right? Head of retail excellence. So,
yes.
To everybody getting to be the head of retail excellence, the question is, if we're not proactively measuring how happy or how our employees or customers feel about our brand, right? What pains are we going to get as a business going forward? Let's throw out some thoughts in the chat, or if you're courageous enough, switch on your video and tell us. Okay, Anthony is saying that your first customers are your internal employees. Yeah, absolutely, Anthony. But how do we keep a pulse on those internal employees, their first customers? And what happens if we're not regularly checking in on them? I see Hamdi's also said that it's a human experience. Absolutely. We need to be treating customers, employees as humans, 100%. And interesting, Hamdi, something to think about is what happens now in the age of AI, and how is that going to take away that human experience?
Very interesting thought process there.
Yeah. Are there any hands up? Okay, Ruben. Big time churn on both sides. Employee and customer root cause would be emotions, no matter how good products or the services are. Ruben, this is interesting. Do you mind elaborating on this a bit? Because it's some very interesting things that you've said.
Hello. On that point, I would say when it comes to big time churn, is if you don't measure your customer experience or employee experience, the result will be that the customers will leave, and even your employees will also leave, no matter how good your company is, or no matter the reputation, no matter how big or small it is. And so customers leaving, employees leaving will definitely lead to a collapse of the business. Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. Thanks, Ruben, and fantastic insights. I like the way you've suggested that businesses can't rely on gut decisions anymore, right? They need factual data to be able to positively or negatively say that this is what's working, this isn't, and as a result, back to the CEO's point, these are the actions we need to take, right? Cool. There's some really good thoughts coming in there. Maybe, Carol, we can just move on to the next slide, because I think we need to give our guys more work to do on this.
Yeah, they have joined. They have joined raring to go with high energy. As we move on to the next slide, Kola is saying they will check out. I like checkout. Checkout. I can see what you have done there with the supermarket lingo. They will check out and treat your customers the same way you are treating them. That's what Kola is saying, and I think that's a very important thing. And then we have keep them engaged. That's Hamdi, very engaged here on the chat. And then we also have Esther saying the negative outcomes tend to creep in silently, but they hit hard. They hit hard later. For example, lost business opportunities, brand damage, and social media disasters coming through. That's what would happen. That would be the pain, actually. It sounds very painful, right?
No, absolutely. And I think Esther's got a really good point, right? Because as customers, you're always sending out signals in terms of how you're feeling about a brand, positively or negatively. It could be directly to the company itself, but most likely you're spreading those signals socially. And with the digital channels available now, things can go like wildfire. Just to give an example, I don't know if you guys followed when Starlink, the Elon Musk product, landed in Kenya, and there was a big backlash on how bad the Safaricom services actually were. And there was a lot of damage, a lot of brand damage, as is rightly putting it. So if you're not measuring it, it means that you're not understanding what's going on. You can't manage either any positive or negative outcomes. You can't improve. And, as CCO, I'm always passionate about the money. So you're not maximizing on top line and bottom line revenues. In fact, you're probably going to bleed, like Esther's saying.
Right. Right.
All right,
So
let's go to the
if we are
next slide.
losing money, actually, what does that mean for us in business? What does that mean for Care More if we are losing money?
The unfortunate truth is that we're going to have to start shutting down our stores and letting people go. Because ultimately, we've got to answer to our shareholders.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is serious. It's serious, is it
very
not?
serious. It is serious,
Yeah,
dead serious.
It is serious. It is. Employee experience and customer experience is dead serious when we talk about bottom line. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Esther's hit it on the head. Closed outlets, reduce workers, business starts shrinking. We all run out of jobs.
Imagine in
Probably
this
have to go to our
economy.
competitors. Yeah.
In this economy, we cannot afford this. Not at the north, not at the south, not at the east or the west of Africa. We cannot afford that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to give you some real life examples to start thinking about, to bring some of these things to life, right? So we're going to carve you up into smaller groups. You're going to be put into rooms. And in these rooms, we need you to discuss this problem, right? So essentially, now what you heard from the core ground is that several of the store managers are sort of hinting through the grapevine, right? That, customers just feel unhappy, they look unhappy, they look miserable sometimes in those checkout lines, but they don't know why, right? They don't know why this is happening. And as a result, I'm more equally not happy because unhappy customers means that we're losing money. So the challenge that you have as head of retail excellence is to figure this out, right? So what do you do next? So we're going to split you up into groups. We're going to call this the Battle of the Berries. You're going to be put into a room that has a berry name. Okay, I think everyone is back from the breakout sessions, the boardroom sessions.
Yes.
So I hope you guys had a very good and engaging discussion. So, Team Strawberry, do you have your spokesperson ready? And Team Blueberry, do you have your spokesperson ready? We're going to do Team Strawberry first. 3 minutes. Talk to us about the top 3 things that you have discussed. And then we'll follow the same with Team Blueberry.
Right. Welcome, Team Strawberry. This gentleman's job is on the line. Save him from being fired. What great strategies do you have? Tell us about your top 3. Over to you. The podium is yours. Please present in the boardroom.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I saw the message. Someone's sent a message. We chose Hamdi, so I will present it. Actually, we discussed 3 things. Maybe could be a good start for. It's not a solution, but it's just to see what's happening, because you cannot just put a solution from the beginning. So I think the first thing we need to do is to interact with the employees, like doing a town hall meeting, let's say, or like sitting with them and discussing what's happening. Um, I will give a short story. Actually, I was telling it to the strawberry team. I work in a retail company previously, so we used to have an R&D team who design the products. So very quickly that time we had new products which is done, I mean, designed and executed by the R&D team, and we launched these products and display these products in the showrooms. And none of these products succeeded in the market. We didn't sell any of these products. So what we did, we sat with the employees, the retail stores employees. We interact with them, and um, we gave them, or we offered them more than 100 designs just to select out of these designs. So they selected some of these designs, and we started working on these designs. And after we finished, I mean, the R&D department finished, we displayed these products in the showrooms. And you cannot believe that 90% or more from these products succeeded in the market, and we sold them. So the merit of this story is that engaging the employees is very important, because they are facing the customers and they know the customers more than us who are sitting in the office and planning, designing, executing. So engaging the employees is very important. So maybe interacting with the employees by doing some town halls meetings, this will help in pinpointing what is the problem. The other thing is maybe we can do a mystery shopping or mystery shopper. This will maybe also give us a hint about what is the problem. Again, it is not finding the solution, or it's about just touch pointing the what is the problem initially. You cannot start just measuring and finding solution in such situation. You need to explore first. You need to explore. The other thing, which is interacting with the customers. This is very important as well.
Okay.
So this is what we discussed in the strawberry team.
Fantastic.
All right. All right.
Andy, there's a few things that you've said that I really liked. To recap, what I was saying is that I really like the fact that Hamdi said this is not about solving the problem. And as humans, we are wired towards problem solving. So just taking that step back and thinking about what data do we need, what more information do we need for us to figure out the problem is really important.
Yeah.
The second thing that I was talking about was speaking to the employees who are customer facing is, again, really, really important. In so many organizations, decisions are made by senior people who could be the furthest away from the customers, and they have no idea on what the customers are, who the customers are, what their values are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's some really great points I've had in there.
All right. Well done, Team Strawberry, Boardroom Strawberry. Let us hear from Boardroom Blueberry and see whether Akshay's job is still at hand or whether he is going home today immediately. Is he fired or not? Who is presenting from Team Blueberry? Please give us your 3 top points. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me? I'm hoping you guys can see me.
We can hear you. We can see you. Please take over the floor.
Okay, so from our team, clearly Akshay is not going home because because we have a lot of information. So for our discussion, we really had ideas flowing from one another. So we first of all started and said that feedback is very important for customer experience. And so what the CCO, or rather what the person who is in charge of the solution should do is conduct a mystery shopping. And here, mystery shopping is they want to identify how it feels to be the customer. For you, for you as our customer, how does it feel when you interact with our product, or we interact with our premises? So that is a very good way of measuring it. You can send people, or you can go there yourself. And then the second speaker contributed and said, this is Christine. She said you should review the customer database where you look for any contact information or any channel that you can use to access that customer. It could be a survey, through an email, an SMS, or a phone call. And then that way you'll be able to get feedback straight from the customer. And then the third person said you need to have expectation versus needs for the business, where you need to look at problems, and then you work with the quality assurance. You have a quality assurance team that will help you analyze the expectation for the business versus the needs for the business. And then that way you can be able to arrive at a solution. And then since we were talking about solutions a lot, we said that we need a feedback loop. And the only way to develop this feedback loop would be through a root cause analysis. Through feedback, you come up with a good and effective root cause analysis that will be able to pinpoint where the issue is. And then from there, you can be able to develop strategic solutions for that. And then the fifth one said that you should visit the store yourself, similar to mystery shopping. But then here, you are there to investigate and rather to review employee experience versus customer experience. So when you focus on employee experience, you would look at frontline excellence and then try to identify what are the internal politics, what is going on among the team, what kind of bottlenecks are they having, and then that way you can get this data that will help you drive corrective action. And then also Benjamin added a very strong point. He said that we should look at micro moments. These are small moments that really matter along the customer journey, because the customer journey might be so large, especially when you're looking at a business that has various, several stores. And so if you break down into small micro moments for your business, you can be able to understand the pain points, and then you can be able to come up with small kind of advancement or enhancement in the customer journey. And then someone said that it could also be, you can identify, attitude. Is it a motivation issue with your teams? And then you can be able to pinpoint it. And then we also had someone say it could be a product issue. You analyze your product, do a product review. If you have a product manager, you can also do a third-party analysis of your product. And then Thomas said you can look at it from a personal level. Rather, you analyze individuals, what are their motivation, what are their goals, and then that way you are able to come up with a mode of operation for your business. And then lastly, Esther said that we should look at the implementation, not just having good ideas on paper or email. You should also look at how are you going to implement these solutions that you have talked about. You have done the root cause analysis. How are you going to implement the corrective action recommendations that you have on paper versus, because the reality on the ground is actually different when it comes to implementation. So yes, that was our team, and we really had a good engagement. Yes.
Clearly, it's a good engagement. Akshay, what are your thoughts? What's the temperature? Are you going home this afternoon?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure, Carol. We need to. I think these two boards need some more work to do. Can we throw them back in the boardrooms and give them some more work to do?
They need to go back to the boardroom. As the CEO, I am not convinced. There's been a lot of stories, a lot of flowers, a lot of talks about town halls. We've had about town halls before. Mystery shopping, we've had about that before. Oh, let's go measure. Let's do root cause analysis. Stories. These are the stories that customer experience people tell us. They are always with stories, always with emotions, always with flowers, always with fluffy things. No, we need hard, cold facts, Akshay, or you go home. You are about to go home, Akshay, unless we speak in data. Data.
Yes,
absolutely.
Akshay. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to throw everyone back into the room. Now, what you eventually decided as your immediate priority action is to initiate data gathering, qualitative and quantitative, voice of customer, voice of employees. So I want you guys to look at this data and now come up again with some more tangible actions all the way forward. Okay, so you're going to be thrown back into your boardrooms. You can nominate a different spokesperson for the next round if you like. Look at the data, understand what it's telling you. You have both quantitative and qualitative, and come back to us on the way forward.
Yeah, we don't want stories in these boardrooms. Experience, head of retail experience. Yes, we are talking to you. No stories. Tell us 5 things that must be done with this data that you have picked up from your people. You've done your town hall, you've done your mystery shopping, you've done voice of the employee, voice of the customer, you've gone through the micro moments, you've looked at attitudes, you've looked at expectations. This is what the data, hardcore data, is telling you. Off into the boardroom and come back and let us know what 5 things you are going to do to ensure that Akshay does not go home. His job is on the line, his life is on the line, his family is on the line, his future is on the line, his destiny is on the line, good people. Please, off you go, Team Strawberry and Team Blueberry.
Okay, we are back. Now this time around, we're going to put Team Blueberry up front. So Team Blueberry, it's your time to shine.
Yeah, and you only have 3 minutes. The boardroom is already in use. People want to join this boardroom and we have a schedule. And so we have 3 minutes to present for each team. If you go over your time, your team will be disqualified. Team Blueberry, please talk to us. The floor is yours. Is Akshay going home this afternoon, or will he be saved by the beautiful things you will present?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, please. My resignation letter is already written, so I want to tear it up.
Are you resigning? We are firing you. What do you mean resigning, Akshay? You're not gonna pull one up on me. We will be fired. We're not accepting your resignation. Over to you, Esther.
So it's not resigning. We have some things that we've discussed here.
Yes.
About review of SOPs, standard operating procedures. That's even if they exist. So we need to first find out, do we have standard operating procedures? Is everyone in the company in the know of them? Are they pinned somewhere with the organization so that people keep looking at them, reminding themselves of the SOPs? In line with this, we also talked about what is the value? What is the vision of the company? Is it pinned somewhere? Do we talk about it every morning, maybe in the general stand-ups at work? Because for such teams that work with clients, we need to have stand-ups at least. Then we also talked about measuring small achievements and celebrating them largely. For example, we could have a client who has upsold a commodity to a client, yet the client just came to buy one thing. We can talk about that for the whole week. Maybe say agent of something like that, put it somewhere and celebrate largely. Then we also have reward and recognition. We need to make the employees more hard. And reward and recognition is not monetary, it's not money all the time. You can just put simple things like lunch for staff, maybe a voucher within the retail store if you've done a good job, like that. Then also we need to look out and see what are our competitors doing, how are the stocks arranged. Do we have maybe a bidding? Is it size? And also, for example, let's say our competitor is Nakumat. How does that look like? What is the lighting like? Do we match that? Because it also attracts what the place looks like exactly. So the last point, since we've seen all these comments here, we just need to continue training our staff. And also, sometimes employees are overworking, etc. We need to have a counseling for them. Have share feedback on WhatsApp and help. Thank you so much.
All right, great going, Team Blueberry. Let's hear from Team Strawberry. And then Akshay, the Chief Commercial Officer, can put together the report from all these contributions and make the presentation before the committee, lest he's told to step out. Team Strawberry, what would you like for Akshay to put onto his report? As Head of Retail Experience, talk to us. The boardroom floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Caroline. This is Teresa representing Team Strawberry.
All right.
So the 5 points we looked at was the first one. Firstly, we would have to have a look at our managers, do some refresher training for our managers, just to ensure that they are retrained, especially on leadership, on how they manage their teams. And if we don't see any change, then we may decide to change the store manager or maybe hire a new one.
Okay.
The second one was there was a complaint on the shifts. So just to look the shifts which the employees have against the number of hours which are being worked. So basically seeing, you do some workforce management. How many employees do we need in this amount of hours? And just consider that maybe we might need more people, or maybe they are working the way they're supposed to work. But that will also speak into that in case they're going overtime, putting in extra time, there's also need to consider just paying them some overtime, especially when they're saying that they need more pay. So we just have to look how we're managing our workforce. The third one is there was a comment on the changing rooms are terrible. So just have a relook of the look and feel of the store, especially where our employees, when they're having their rest, where they spend most of the time. How's the look and feel of the place where they are working? The fourth one is the stock levels of the store. So it's important that we are restocking our store. So looking at the stock levels, important to always monitor how the stocks are so that we don't have any shelves which are empty. Then the last one is regular surveys for feedback from the teams, and also ensuring that our human resource department has initiatives. So we bring in initiatives where you build the team together. So you have like team building sessions for the team. You bring in some incentives for those who reach their targets. So basically, we're trying to build trust for the team, so that when you build trust for the team, then that will also reflect in the way they handle our customers. So I hope I've spoken to you all the points. Yeah.
Okay, that's Team Strawberry. Akshay, you have many things to go into your report. We hear process and SOPs. We hear vision, continuous communication. We hear reward and recognition. We hear celebration and appreciation. We hear benchmarking. We hear capacity building in here. We hear voice of the customer, voice of the employee. We see ambience and customer and employee comfort. We see product, we see process, we see people, we see all manner of things that are talking into productivity, into welfare. Akshay, that is the feedback that has come from the boardrooms. Over to you. Are you going home this afternoon, or are you staying as head of commercial?
Carol, you know what I've heard today? I've heard a lot of things that are going to cost me a lot of money. That's what I've heard today. Right. So I think I must just give you my resignation letter now.
Yeah, I am wondering where the budget is coming from for all these big things that this head of customer experience, head of retail experience, head of people and culture, head of employee experience, they just want money. Where is this money coming from? Where is this money coming from, Akshay?
Now, the other thing, if anybody should be fired, it should be the head of our people and culture. Because clearly the big problem that we have, just based on this initial feedback, is that our employees are disengaged, right? They are unhappy, they're dissatisfied, they're disgruntled, we're not looking after them. And that is the immediate thing that needs to be fixed. Of course, there's different ways to fix that. We always like to jump into training as the quick fix, the bandage, right? Now, that may or may not work in this case, but we need to think broader than just, is training the fix-all for all our problems, right? So look, there's some really nice things that have been said. They can be made more practical, but we need to figure out, how are we going to show our shareholders the money from all these things, right? So how are we going to get our customers happy? How are we going to get them to spend more money with us? How are we going to increase the basket size?
Right.
And that's unfortunately what it's going to come down to. And if they can't prove this, we're not going to get any of these things approved.
Okay. I think that proof is in the pudding, or what is to be said in that way. You know, Akshay, I can hear you almost throwing the head of people and culture under the bus. Is this what happens in leadership, where people just throw each other under the bus? Is this a cover my that situation? Yeah, whose baby is customer and employee experience? Whose baby is this? Is it the experienced person? Is it the head of people and culture? Whose problem is this? Yeah, because things could
Carol,
be as terrible, but what's up?
Shall I hold a mirror in front of you?
No. I have new hires in the room with fresh blood. I have you on the case. People have been in boardrooms all day. I need to hear something about where the money is coming from. Right.
No, absolutely.
Money. Yeah. So why is this customer and employee satisfaction a big thing? Why are those scores the way they are? Why is it important for us to have sustainability and long-term check? Right. Caller says, unfortunately, this throwing people under the bus is very common. That's true. We are crying there with you. CX professionals, oftentimes, all the time, Anthony, please replace that with all the time, get thrown under the bus. The customers' complaints and feedback is reflecting the work environment. It needs to be fixed. That's what Amdi is saying. It will not cost anything. Let's go back to looking at that. And while we look at that, Akshay, let's just talk about what is coloring the things that have been said here today. Because there are a lot of things that have been said here today, but they are colored by different things. So we have gone and looked at voice of the customer, voice of the employee. We don't understand. Our people don't understand. These are things that those in the boardroom, those in the C-suite, those at middle level, those at shop floor level don't quite understand. So the things we talk about are jargonese. We have a lot of jargonese. We have many things that we say that people don't understand. There's also nice to see. Nice to see. Where do we draw the line between the nice to see and the must see? What is it that we must see versus what is nice to see? So even as we measure customer experience excellence, employee experience excellence, what is nice to see versus must see? We've just talked right now about silos and throwing under the bus here, there. Everybody is measuring everything. People are measuring productivity. People are measuring people things, process things. People are measuring basket sizes. People are measuring product movement. People are measuring all of these things. We are measuring all over the place. How do we harmonize so that at the end of the day, our information is not all over the place? How often are we doing this? How often are we measuring? Is it every day? Are we having a check-in every day? Are we waiting for once a quarter? Are we waiting for annual? Are we waiting for end of the month? When are we responding? How are we responding? Who is responding? These are things we must look at. So even as we measure customer and employee experience excellence, let's be very clear that we are not being misunderstood. We are not doing just shiny object things and vanity, because we are seen as that, and that we are speaking to each other, and that the response is coming in the manner that it should come. What's the root cause? Both teams talked about this in the first boardroom meeting. What's the why? There are very, very many root cause tools, the fishbowl, there's RCA tool for the 5 whys. We find that for customer and employee experience excellence, 5 whys is it all the time. If we just ask why 5 times, it's very simple. Just why? That last why will give us. It will give us, and we'll be able to close the loop, as you have all said. We'll be able to come back to basics. We keep on running after very, very tech-like things. We want to do AI. We want to run into machine learning. We want to automate, to digitize. But at the bottom of all of this, we just need to keep it simple. The employees need to be happy. The customers need to be happy. That's where the rubber meets the road. And this lack of buy-in is always an issue. Always an issue. How do we get buy-in from the people we are leading? How do we get buy-in from the customers themselves? How do we get buy-in from other stakeholders who are dear to us, the suppliers, the partners, the collaborators, whether we are in service or product industry? How do we get buy-in from peers? How do we get that buy-in? How do we get buy-in from C-suite? How do we get buy-in from the board? And so these are things that will challenge our customer and employee experience measurement activities. We need to take a look at this. We need to be clear about it. We need to ask ourselves hard questions and come back to the boardroom with answers. And so Akshay, tell us a little bit about all of these vanity metrics that we like to throw up in employee and customer experience. Talk to us about this. What are you seeing? What are all these things?
Now, if you're in customer experience, you like to use these, what we call TLAs, 3-letter acronyms.
Right.
TATs, SLAs, NPS, CS. And unfortunately, what happens as a result in a lot of organizations that we have interviewed, surveyed, worked with, is this kind of information is sort of stuck in the middle management layer of the organization, right? The insights that you're gathering from voice of customer programs, voice of employee programs, sometimes that doesn't trickle its way to the board, the exco, the decision makers. And the reason why is, and Carol alluded to some of this early on, right? It's fluffy, it's soft, it's not real, it's not tangible, it's not quantitative. So thinking about this scenario where we said we think that our customers are unhappy, you see, it's something soft. Now, one of the things that would be really powerful to take to your decision makers in this example would be say, okay, in branch X, we saw that during the month of August, our customers spent this much less. And that becomes a more powerful story because automatically you're framing the problem from a top line and a bottom line perspective. We have some issues. Those issues are causing a reduction in revenue, and we need to fix. Now, after you've gathered more data and you found out what is the root cause and what is it that we're going to do, again, we need to frame the solutions of we are going to reduce the amount of products that we're offering so that we have less stockouts. This means that we're going to increase our revenues by this, or whatever the case is, right? We're going to undertake an employee experience initiatives that's going to improve our engagement of our employees, and happy employees means that they're going to serve our customers quicker, faster, which means that we can serve more customers next time. So we expect our revenues to jump up by 5%. Right? Now, if you're able to have those kind of conversations, people are going to be willing to listen to you. They're going to invite you to their boardrooms. They're going to ask you, can you present these numbers? And guess what? Your initiatives are going to get approved much quicker, and you're going to have the support you want as CXers in the room.
Correct.
Yeah? If we keep on talking about jargon, you're gonna confuse people. If you have the NPS of our store checkout process is -5, people are just going to look at you blankly and they're like, what does this mean? So what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And NPS is there in caps for a reason, because for some, it's great. NPS is great. It's an emotive metric. It talks about referrals. Would you refer your friends, your family, your network? Would you refer? I can only refer if I'm happy. I cannot refer if I'm unhappy. So it's an emotive metric. It's great. However, when we are talking and measuring employee experience and customer experience, and we need to speak in boardrooms, which is where things get moved and shaken and decisions are made, that needs to be tied to bottom line. It needs to be tied to the money. It needs to be tied to revenue, because this is the language that the people at the top need to hear. There was a big debate in a group recently with the notion that why are customer experience and employee experience, and in this case, head of retail experience, always fighting to have leaders hear about customer experience? If they don't know about customer and employee experience, they should not be leading at all. They should give up their leadership hats. But that way, if we take on that approach, then we will be talking to ourselves. As people said here, we need to go to the ground and we need to speak the language on the ground. And the language in the boardroom is numbers. So how do we get this jargon away from being customer and employee experience jargon and turn it back into boardroom speak? So we need to put a number to everything. In the beginning, both Team Strawberry, I have all the notes, Team Strawberry and Team Blueberry talked about churn, employee churn, customer churn. How do we convert employee and customer churn into actual numbers? What is the cost of acquiring customers? What's the customer acquisition cost? CAC. What is the employee acquisition cost? EAC. So for all this churn, we need to put this into numbers so that then we can get hard and we can move away from all of this great jargon that we like as CX and EX professionals. And as head of retail, we can get customers back on board and employees happy, and Akshay will retain his job. Akshay, this is a critical conversation. From the research that was carried out recently in April of this year, it was the state of customer experience and employee experience maturity in Africa and the state of intelligent CX in this continent. This result got us really, really thinking. Akshay, do you want to speak into this result? What is this data telling us? Because data is not even the new oil. Data is oxygen for
oxygen.
us. Yes,
absolutely.
Oxygen. Yeah.
Now, the maturity assessment that we undertook, this question asked people in CX, what do you present? What do you present? What do you report on? What metrics? And it was closed. They had options to choose from. Now, from this pie chart, you can see that this is about less than 25% of respondents actually reported on some form of financial metric. The overwhelming majority, I give you two guesses on what they reported on. It was NPS or CSAT, right? Which, as Carol said, they're great, they're directional, they help us to figure out the problems, but reporting at that upper level to your decision makers, you are going to struggle for them to understand. Now, if you didn't participate in this survey, you can still download the report. In fact, Lynette has kindly put the link into this report in the chat. Digest it, unpack it. There is a lot of stuff around how people in CX need to level up and be able to talk to whether it's your CFO or your CCO or the CEO. It's almost like thinking that, if you were stuck in a lift with Carol as the CEO of Caremo, and she turns to you and asks you, so head of retail, tell me in this quarter, what are the 3 big changes that we've made to our business that's brought in more money? Now, are you going to be able to answer that question? Are you going to be able to answer that question confidently, with numbers, with facts, with speed?
Right. Confidently, with numbers, with facts, and with speed. And putting on the CEO's hat, that is what I want to hear as the CEO. That is what we need to challenge ourselves here as the head of retail. and just put on the hat, experience management hat that you have right now. Those are the things. We need to see numbers. We need to see where is the money coming from with regards to experience, employee experience and customer experience. Something else that we want to talk about is, in as much as NPS, ENPS, CSAT, ESAT, and all these are important, which they are. We are not saying disregard them. We are saying report on them, yes, but report on them in tandem with these other things. Report on them and put numbers to them, put the money to them, put metrics to them, put financial outcomes to them, bottom line, top line, and middle line. So that's what we want to say this afternoon. And as we do that, let's look at what's happening out west, because we say that the data in this continent, we have a lot of dark data here. We collect it, sometimes we don't collect it, sometimes we don't use it, or we collect it and it's not showing up. When you research, because we've done a lot of research in this space, last year's survey, last year's research was employee experience to customer experience nexus. And we researched on that in this continent. This year's was the state of customer experience maturity, as well as intelligent CX, the baseline. When we go out and look at data out there, look at this. Look at this. Actually, what does this tell you as Chief of Commercial?
So again, this question was thrown to C-level and executive level leaders in an organization, right? And they were asked, in your organization, how can CX show the greatest value, right? From an organizational perspective.
Right.
The number one thing, 74% of respondents said that CX need to be able to demonstrate business impact. And again, to Carol's point, business impact only means two things. It's top line and bottom line.
Right.
There's no other dots or lines in between. It's very black and white.
Right.
CXs need to be able to show the money.
Show us the money. So people out here are not struggling with things like this. This report is focused on Europe and America and part of Middle East. And this is what they are looking at. We're measuring the impact, business impact of customer experience. And we know that customer experience is embedded on employee experience. So each and every one of us needs to wear this hat in our institution. It doesn't have to be a big institution. Really, we don't need to be blue chip. It could be an SME, it could be a startup, it could be government, it could be not-for-profit sector, it could be civil society, it could be in manufacturing, it could be in energy, oil and gas. It doesn't matter where you are. Wherever we are, we need to show value for the bottom line, and we need to be able to show the impact of employee experience and customer experience on the bottom line of the institution. So as we put on our head of retail experience hats, let's go back and ask ourselves, how are we measuring the impact of these things? Research is telling us that this is what's happening out there. As a continent, we are calling ourselves to this boardroom, to the strawberry boardroom, and to the blueberry boardroom. Akshay?
Absolutely. I think the other thing to think about is that there are a number of other benchmarking reports that we've referenced in the maturity report.
Yes.
And they all tell a similar story, right? So
Yes.
there was another report from Gartner, which basically said that increasingly what is being seen is that if CX cannot justify this business impact, they're seeing essentially initiatives getting chopped, right?
Yeah.
Which is, and when we had the ICX event in Kisumu this year, one of the biggest gripes when I was talking to the heads of CX and directors of CX is saying that they're just not getting approvals. In fact, there's another statistic which we've not shown up, which is around just lack of awareness from a financial perspective of where the organization at. I think it was a third of the CXs, the respondents didn't know what their CX budgets were. And guys, these are guys who own that vertical of CX. They own the profit line, they own the balance sheet. They don't know what the budget is. And then leaning to the intelligent CX, I think 45% of the respondents said, we don't know what's happening in intelligent CX. We don't know what's being spent on intelligent CX. Right. So there's quite a bit of leveling up to do from a CX perspective. And I think part of this is also about understanding that you don't need to do this all by yourselves.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, go and have a coffee with the CFO, go and have a coffee with the CIO, talk to them, say that, look, I have these initiatives coming up. How do I justify value? How do I prove value? These guys understand how to manipulate the spreadsheets and massage it so that you're telling the right story in the right way to the right people. Right?
Correct.
Now, when I say
And
massaging, I'm saying don't make stuff up, but say it factually.
Right, and in the right language, because many times as CXers, we know
In the
what
right
we want to say, we must adopt the right language. And before we give you 10 minutes for Q&A, we want to ask you, what can you pick up for your organization? This is homework to take home. How can we make customer and employee experience measurement more actionable? And what challenges are you foreseeing and how will you overcome them? This is what we want you to take home and go and do. Because from now, we are in September, we are running to the end of 2025. We must end this year with great customer and employee experience. The excellence must be great. It must be great, and in the entire continent, we are rooting for every corner of this continent to have great service. Great service leads to great experiences. And so that's what our appeal is today. Make it actionable, show where the money is. Like now, Customer Service Week is coming up. We are going to be struggling for budgets as experience management professionals. Give us the budget for internal customer activities for Customer Service Week. Give us the budget for external customer activities for Customer Service Week. If we are not able to tie those budgets to bottom line, that this is what we are seeing going to come out of this Customer Service Week activities. For the internal customer, this is what we are seeing. This is how we are seeing it coming alive. For the internal customer and the external customer, this is the return on investment we are seeing. We are seeing increased numbers. We are seeing referrals. We are seeing brand reputation. We are seeing reduced attrition. We are seeing a drop in churn, customer churn. We are seeing more customers coming in, acquisition. We are seeing the lifetime value of our customers increasing. We are seeing that our brand is going to be seen as customer-centric, and this will then attract us to the right partners, to the right stakeholders. We, as in experience management, can claim anything and everything. Actually, all the jobs should be ours. Nobody should ever say there's no customer experience job. We can do anything. Even the backest office. I don't know if that is procurement or who it is that sits in the very data analysis, whoever sits in the backest office, IT, all of this is experience management. All of these are in that end-to-end value chain, and we need to claim what is our own and put numbers to it. We need to show reduction of turnaround time. And what does that mean? We need to show reduced escalations of complaints. What does that mean in terms of money? So as Akshay has said, money. I don't know whether this man is going to be fired this afternoon. I think he might have redeemed himself. Team Strawberry and Team Blueberry, I think you may have redeemed him. We are open for questions for the last 10 minutes or comments, and then we can close this beautiful discussion that we have had. Yeah, over to you, Head of Retail Experience in the room. I hope you have seen the homework. Please take a screenshot of it. We want you to do these things so that you leave here with specific metrics, how you're going to measure, how you're going to make it actionable. And of course, we always like to see what could get in the way of our success so that we can plan in advance. Customer and employee experience professionals are people who always want to scenario map, scenario plan, risk manage, so that we can overcome those. So over to you, any questions you have. We have 10 minutes for that until the top of the hour.
So Carolyn,
Yes.
there's a question from Anthony around tangibility of proof of concept work, right?
Right.
So 100%. Now, when you go to the boards asking for money, now they want to test your credibility, right? They'll be looking at how do I trust you if you've not delivered big initiatives before? So essentially what they want is they want proof that your CX projects can deliver. And the proof of concepts or pilots are a great way to do that, because what you're doing is you are helping them to manage their risk appetite. You're picking something of low risk, gives you higher control. But even with your proof of concept, you need to tie this back to those financials. So if you picked up small proof of concept, let's say you're working on a digital app or something like that, right? Or even with the supermarket, you want to prove that those digital self-checkout tills are going to reduce queues by 30 minutes or 30 seconds, whatever it is. You need to be proving to the thing, to them, saying that, what is this going to mean for the business? Pilot it in one store, scale it out across multiple stores once you've got the buy-in.
Absolutely. And small wins count, like you're saying, Akshay. When we are winning somewhere, we win, and we move on. We celebrate. The teams here said celebrate the wins, acknowledge the wins. That came from Team Blueberry earlier. Reward, recognition. We really must run with that. There's a question here from Moses, that it's employee experience is purely an HR related role. As a CX executive, how can I contribute in this area? This is Cecilia. Cecilia, employee experience is our business as experience management professionals. It's our business in customer experience. Disgruntled employees are not going to deliver service which will deliver great experiences for us. We must be very interested in what HR is doing. We must sit with them. They are a key stakeholder. We must show them their plans, our plans. They must show us their plans. What are they planning? We need to have joint meetings. We need to have joint targets. We need to embed ourselves in employee experience, or we will never win with this game. We can't ask of our employees to deliver what they don't have. We can't ask them to be pleasant, to handle conflict, to represent the brand if they are not feeling supported themselves, if conflict management for them is not happening in a manner that's pleasant. And so, yes, Cecilia, it is our business. Let us be interested. Let us be seen as an ally for employee experience, and the HR should be our best friend. Just as the CFO is our best friend, so must the HR be our best friends. Ruben is asking Akshay, and this is your area that you're so passionate about. Other than budgetary reasons, what makes buy-in hard, yet ROI is aligned to the business goals from a boardroom perspective? What makes it difficult? Why is buy-in hard, Akshay?
Ruben, this is a great point. And the report also unpacks this, right?
Yeah.
And let me talk about this very quickly.
Yes.
One of the questions that was put to the CX respondents was around, in the last 12 months, what was some of the biggest challenges you had when it came to CX, deploying CX initiatives, etc.? Now, the two biggest things were organizational complexity, and the second one was around culture, leadership, etc. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So what you said around making sure that ROI is, first of all, understood, communicated, and aligned to what the business is trying to do, absolutely spot on. Right now,
Yes.
Unfortunately, in the complex world that we live in, you're going to have to navigate that complexity. And by complexity, what are we talking about? We're talking about the way the organization is structured, the reporting lines that you have, your solids, the dotteds, the curved lines, etc. You've got your silos, you've got, unfortunately, from a political perspective, people who want to defend their ivory towers.
Mm-hmm.
And as a CX person, you need to be able to navigate all this, right? So you need to be the influencer, the collaborator, and trying to bring all this thing together. The second thing is that you need to get or figure out how to get your leadership bought into it so that they can drive this top down, right?
Right.
Carol, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
No, you've absolutely spoken into it. As CX people, as people in experience management, we really need to understand the voices of the stakeholders who we need buy-in from, so that I am speaking your language. If I'm speaking to the head of procurement, for whom I must have on my side, so that there's quality, so that my products are quality, so that the people that they bring in to partner with me so that my organization is delivering quality, that person needs to be in my boat. We always ask, who is in your boat? This person needs to be in your boat, rowing away with you. So what is in the best interest of the procurement person with regards to customer experience excellence? We need to tie quality to that experience. And this person in procurement will have accolades, will have flowers. We're always desperate for affirmation as human beings. When customers are happy, the person in procurement, we tie it back to them and they will see, oh, this is me. It is because of me that partners, that suppliers, that collaborators are great in here. It is me who made it happen. I am the gateway. I am the gateway through which our customers are happy. So they need to understand that. What is in it for the IT person? What is in it for HR? What is in it for ops? What is in it for admin? What is in it for finance? What is in it? So that we really need to speak the language of the person that we want to get buy-in from. All our CX jargon, we are leaving it at the door today. Away with jargon. We must speak in the language that is understood for buy-in. And also, as we try to get solutions for ourselves, we need to break down the silos. Let's have joint meetings. Let's have collaborative meetings. The teams talked about town halls, very good, about communication, very good, about going to the shop floor and listening to the voices of the people there, very good, about reflecting on leadership as well, because leadership is an EX conversation actually, right?
100%. Experience. We should talk about holistic experience. Attitudes, culture, and leadership. It all ties in.
It all ties in. We need to be the CEO's best friend. Actually, I don't know if you're my best friend this afternoon. I think you have redeemed yourself. I think Team Strawberry and Team Blueberry, give yourselves a round of applause. Akshay is not being fired this afternoon. He holds his job. You have given great insights, great wisdom. This has been a great afternoon. It's been awesome to hear from each and every one of you. As you can see, dear ones, the answers are with you. They are with us. We don't have to wait for any consultant out there. We don't have to wait for someone to come and rescue us. Africa is not the dark continent of poor customer experience. We refuse that this afternoon, and we are saying that we are going to change, and we are changing right now, and we will collaborate together from all the corners of this space and take over the world, because you know what Africa does, the rest of the world follows. So back to you, Lynette. We've had a fantastic time. Akshay has his job in place. Thank you, everyone. You have been amazing, amazing, amazing. Back to you, Lynette.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carol and Akshay. I think the afternoon was so well spent to be able to discuss some solutions and to save Akshay's job. We're glad that he's not going home and having to explain to his wife why he doesn't have a job anymore. So thank you, everyone. We had great contributions from Team Strawberry and Team Blueberry. Well done for having great discussions. It's been a pleasure as ICX to host this first workshop, and we're looking forward to interacting more on the rest of the workshops.